Well, this is a video I didn't want to make, but here we are. You didn't know Creator Clash 3
What time is it?
is
10 p.m.
canceled.
10 p.m.
It's completely over. It's done. It's not happening. But I was hoping and trying and praying it would work out and things would be fine and I'd be able to box for my third time. I'd have a trilogy in Creator Clash and I'd have 3 first round wins. That was my goal and that was my plan. I started training last November and now here in July, I'm finally on pause with training because Creator Clash 3 is completely done. And even though Creator Clash 3 isn't happening, there still is going to be an effort to raise some money for the charity for Stand Up to Cancer. Okay. Aaron from Real Good, from Game Grumps, wants to try to still push people and do some fun things to raise money for charity. And that I would like to do my 24-hour dance stream. I mentioned it before. I was going to do it leading up to the event. I was going to dance for nonstop for 24 hours. And as I'm dancing, we're doing different things to raise money. Please stay tuned for that. Keep your eyes peeled. The good news is you will be able to see me fight at some point. I have been talking to Misfits Boxing. It will happen some point this year. I'm guessing around the fall. So there's that. Now, to begin, I'm really bummed that the event isn't happening. And I'm now here making this video when for so long I tried very hard to not be negative and not jump in on all the negative talk going on surrounding the event. I tried to be a very positive person publicly and promote the event and ignore all the stuff that was going on. But now it's not happening anymore. So it doesn't matter. And I'm just going to say everything I've been thinking. I don't like talking about the money and the payments and complaining about that. But Creator Clash 2 and 3 have genuinely put me into a bad spot financially. The first 2 years at Creator Clash, we got $20,000. Every fighter gets $20,000 to cover your coach, protein, food, gym memberships, training. The first year, I saved a lot of money with the way I trained. Year 2 comes around. I'm now living back in LA. I wanted to work with my coach, who is still in Portland. So in order to do that, so I got like an Airbnb for a couple of months. So anyway, I spent all the $20,000 on promo, food, gym, training, and then I get back to LA after Creator Clash and I have nothing because I was expecting a bonus. The reason I spent all $20,000 that year was because this person tells me it's going to be bigger and better, which is...
Did Ian really do this stupid video just to be better buddies with Hassan and crew? I would not be surprised, but also this is not Ian, this is Nathan, who is one of the people who are bound to compete, and he's gone, so...
It looked like it was shaping up to be. Pausing for a moment to give an editor's note. I might do this a few times throughout the video as I'm going through it just to clarify and people understand exactly what I'm saying. When I say this person I'm talking to, I'm purposely not saying the name of the person. It's not Ian or Anissa. It's people who work for the event, for the promotion company, the PR company, or Real Good Touring. So there's a lot of people who we're talking to. At this point, I'm talking about someone who works for the event that I don't want to publicly expose. And then I'll just take that $30,000 or $40,000 bonus. It'll be amazing. I'll get an actual paycheck. One more pause real quick. When I say
100%, yeah. It was one of the most wildest fucking videos to ever drop that you would just directly fuck someone over. It's insane.
$30,000 or $40,000 here so regarding what I could...
I don't think Ian, dude, this is, it's like the, you know, it's kind of like the death of Harambe. You get what I mean? It's kind of like the death of Harambe. The death of Harambe, like, trickled, like, so many, like, catastrophic events down the line to the point where we are still feeling the effects of the death of Harambe, okay? It's just like how something like this, you know, like, trickling down, it is very clear to me that, yeah, fuck, you know, this is it. This is the one thing, you know?
Potentially earn for the bonus for Creator Clash 2. That was purely speculation on my point since I earned $27,000 at Creator Clash 1. It's a bigger event. I'm thinking, okay, I'll earn possibly $40,000. So no one ever said that number to me. I'm just speculating since it would be more possibly and probably than $27,000 from year 1. When we get back from Florida after Creator Clash 2, we were at Marisha Ray's house and she was having a party, and there is where Anissa told me, hey, there's no bonus. We didn't get any money from the pay-per-view. People like pirated it. There was people in Discords with 30,000 people watching it for free. So there was no money left over for the fighters to have a bonus. And it's kind of like, I feel like Clark Griswold in a way, where like I'm banking on that Christmas bonus and then I don't get it. I'm probably over clarifying things with all these notes, but I do want to say I wouldn't be able to do this event if there wasn't some type of a bonus pay. I unfortunately am not in a situation like some of the other creators on the cards that can just volunteer their time and put in all these hours boxing and still be able to pay their bills. I had to take this as a job because I need to earn money. I needed Creator Clash every single time to pay my rent. That's just a fact. I don't really want to admit that, but it's true. I wish I was in a position where I could have done this for free and I wouldn't have these complaints. So the reason I even took Creator Clash 1 was because I was getting $20,000 and I knew I could keep some of it. So this year, year 3, I get on the phone and I talked for an hour. And I was like, I really don't know if I want to do this. What I was told by this person, yes, you're probably going to make a check this time. A ton of people are going to watch it. The mistakes were learned from year 2. Well, now look at where we are. It was even worse than year 2. And now I don't know if it's from the boxing, but it happened one night when I had a very hard sparring session. And when I turn my head now, I see bright flashes on the side and left of my head. I'm seeing them right now. It happens all the time. It happens all the time, and I never had that happen. And then that night, it started happening. And it was after 2 weeks in a row of hard sparring. And that was the hardest sparring I'd ever had. Didn't take me down, though. And then he had to take a knee. And he is a 27-year-old amateur boxer. Just saying. Well, what the heck does it matter? Because I just did it all, and now I'm seeing flashing, and my knees kill, and I don't get anything for it, and there's no fight happening. One time during training, not too long ago, my whole arm went numb again when I got hit by a shot. Now, that being said, this is boxing, and I did sign up for it voluntarily. I'm aware of what happens in boxing. I'm aware you get injuries, and I'm okay with that, and I'm willing to accept them. It's just really disappointing and a bummer, because now I don't get to even fight in the event or make a little bit of extra cash to help pay rent. Creator Clash 3 this year didn't pay us the $20,000. They paid us the first 2 years. We were offered $15,000 this year. Then I heard through Harley, LA Beast got the 15 and then additional 7,000. And I was like, what the heck, dude? I just talked on the phone for an hour months ago and got convinced to do this because I was told everyone was getting paid the same thing. Now someone's getting 7,000. I reached out, I was like, can I get that 7,000? Answer was no. Answer was, okay, we can get you a brand deal. That's not happening now. LA Beats makes more than us. He makes out with more money. I'm in 3 of these freaking things. And I'm not blaming LA Beast. He got what he got because he asked for it. Why the heck did I not get it when I asked for it in the very, very beginning before the thing was even announced? Then I go camping. People on the internet were talking about this camping trip. The trip was set up by my coach.
I don't understand why these companies don't offer some kind of easy to buy restreaming contracts. Don't know. It's probably some stupid legal shit, honestly. Where you look at it and you're like, oh, that shit is stupid. And then you're like, fuck. I can understand why they have it there.
Coach as something he wanted to do in his life. He likes camping. And he thought, hey, you and Ren from Corridor and I trained together. Ian's like, hey, I want to come. Ian came down from Seattle. He joined us. Odd Ones Out was there. Alex Ernst was there. Steven, another YouTube boxer, she was there. It was a bunch of us. On this camping trip is where Ian tells me, hey, I'm doing another content cop. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And he goes, yeah, it's on Ethan. And I was like, Ethan Klein? And he said, yeah, it's on Ethan Klein. And I thought, oh no, why would you do that? The reason I was so concerned by this, Ethan and I had a very big misunderstanding for Creator Clash 2 with our promotion for the fight. I'm not going to tell this story again. I've told it in the past, but like everything's fine with Ethan and I. It's all done. We've talked and we've messaged and we're all good. So when Ethan and I made up, I was so relieved. This like huge weight came off my shoulders. I was like, okay, I'm not at odds with somebody. Then Ian tells me before Creator Clash 3 is about to happen, oh, I'm putting out a hit piece on Ethan Klein. And I'm thinking, oh my God, dude. Why are you doing this? Why are you trying to cause trouble? Because now I'm thinking, this is going to ruin Creator Clash 3 and I'm going to get screwed again. Yes, I can tell him I'm concerned. I truly thought it was a work. It was like a WWE promo thing where like they were going to have a fake feud. They're going to make up. right before Creator Clash 3, genius promotion. I watch a lot of wrestling though, so I probably was thinking incorrectly because that wasn't the case at all. It was a real beef. I don't keep my ear to the ground when it comes to YouTube drama. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's mad at who, and I don't care and I don't want to know. I wish it was back in the 2010 days and everyone was doing sketches and stupid characters and we lived in simpler times watching someone talk about a Game Boy Advance game. I will say, if you're new here, please subscribe and check out my new talk show that's filmed here in this television studio. Top of the line production quality going on in here, and I love doing it. And you can be an audience member. You can call in and you can talk to me and be on the show. So Ian and I are walking around getting firewood, and he's like, yeah, Ethan said a bunch of stuff about me and Anissa, and I need to respond to him, so I'm going to make a content cop. He puts the thing out and he screws every single person. He screws Real Good Touring, all the business professionals who are making this event with him. He screws me. He screws every other boxer. Everyone was screwed from Ian's dumb video because he couldn't wait 2 months. And here's the thing. I'm not going to tell someone what to make. Even though I don't like drama and negative content, it's not my place to do that. So I chose not to do that. At some point after the content cop video, my friend Yoda talks to me and says, all this crazy stuff's going on with Ethan from H3. Child Services is being called on him. He's getting human skulls mailed to his house. I didn't know what any of that was about, but I felt bad for him because it sounded insane. So I went to an H3 live stream and donated $20 and left a comment to try and say something positive. I also said I was bummed about the content cop video and confused on how to move forward. Now, I'd like to clarify why I did this. I could have just DM'd Ethan on Instagram to say, hey, I hope you're doing well. But I hadn't talked to him in like a year, and I didn't know if he was going to respond to me. Also, I really wanted to publicly say, hey, this video is kind of weird in a simple way. When I said we're all kind of confused by this, I was sharing the sentiment of a few fighters that were genuinely confused as to why Ian and Anissa made this video when we all have an event coming out. So all the fighters had been very quiet and were like afraid.
They made it because they were mentally retarded, okay? They are mentally deficient human beings, okay, that are stupid. That's why.
To talk about things. So I thought if I made this donation, I could say in a sort of friendly way, hey, yeah, we kind of think this is weird. Hopefully it all blows over. I wasn't trying to insult Ian or Anissa, but I was just addressing the obvious that, yes, this is awkward now. I'm sorry. And I felt that was not an unfair thing to do. Then the next day, Anissa texts me a screen grab of my donation, and she says, is this real? Anissa took that as I was supporting her enemy that she...
I just literally can't even imagine like how fast like Ian and Anissa wanted to be in the good graces of Hassan to the point where they're able to even do something like this. It's just completely insane to me. This is literally all Ethan wanted from Ian and Anissa, by the way, just kind of public support, even something small. Yeah, exactly, right? And the thing is that it's such an easy, like, it's such an easy fucking thing to come out for. And you should have done this. You should have done this like by yourself as well. Like if you saw one of your friends IRL who got into trouble because someone was calling, you know, calling on your house, you don't even need to start pointing fingers. You don't need to do that. You don't need to point fingers. You just need to say, hey, I just don't think it's okay that someone is calling child protection services on your house. Right? That's it. And the thing is that they can't even handle that, and it just blew up into this huge fucking big deal to the point where like everyone starts to get screwed over because Ian and Anissa had so much like fucking they're just so full of themselves, and I don't think they regret fucking over Creator Clash either. They don't regret it. I don't think so, because the thing is that if you take a look at you know, the way that they react to it, they're like, oh wow, wow, we're gonna make a second creator, we're gonna make a second content cop. Why? Because we made so much money the first time. All right, like again, you know, I predict the money that they made is at least $15,000 from that video. Content cop, okay? So yeah, of course they're gonna stop caring about Creator Clash. Fuck. I mean, they're just keep creating content cop videos, shitty content cop videos, because if they're gonna be making like 15,000 to 20,000 per content cop video, yeah, of course. Fuck. You know?
Is chosen, by the way. Ethan and Atri are not my enemy. So then Enisa makes me feel guilty and bad for what I thought was a nice thing. And she's like, oh, I can't believe you would do that. I'm 44 freaking years old. This is childhood, high school garbage. What the heck are you doing? I was texting Yoda, my friend, about this, and I said, I think I'm gonna walk. I'm not dealing with her. I can't do this right now. I almost quit when she called me because Harley was out. I was talking to Harley. Harley was talking about his frustrations. I was saying, yeah, Anissa just called me. She tells me, this really hurts us that you would say this. Because in the donation, I said, this is really confusing for all of us. I don't know why they put that video out. It hurts you that I said I'm confused why you're ruining the event? What are you talking about? It hurts you more that you put your video out, not me being upset about.
Well, yeah, of course, like, again, of course, Nathan's gonna panic over it, right? Like, of course, because again, from his perspective, he tried all this time to fix his relationship with Ethan, right? He spent his entire time trying to be a casual like relationship person with Ethan, and then when this video is put out suddenly, he can feel his entire world crashing down again, right? So of course he's gonna start panicking. Like, why wouldn't he start panicking, right?
About it. Oh, I burned a building down. Now everyone's complaining, and it really hurts me that everyone's complaining about my fire I caused. What the heck are you talking about? She acted surprised that I made that comment on the H3 stream when she said, but Ian told you he was making that video on the camping trip. But just because he told me he was making a dumb video doesn't mean I should just automatically be okay with it because I heard about it beforehand. I can still think it's a dumb idea to put out when you're simultaneously putting on an event that's supposed to be non-political and not tied to any drama. Now at this point online, all anyone is talking about
Now you're tying it to like the most political event, the most drama-filled event ever. Just like the first two, like literally just like the first two fucking creator clashes. Like literally, okay? Creator clash never gonna happen again at this point. Okay, like fuck.
Is how Creator
It's
Clash
over.
is failing and it's a disaster.
I'll host it at this
So
point.
I thought in order to combat some of this negativity and maybe try to sway some people into having some sympathy for the fighters and maybe put a positive spin on all this and get people motivated to support the event, I thought I would go on Keemstar's podcast. And Keemstar has an audience who actually watches YouTube boxing. But before I could go on the podcast, Ian saw a thumbnail Keem posted with my face on it saying I was going on his podcast. So Ian calls me and says, we'd rather you not go on his podcast because we don't know what he's going to say. I said to Ian, it doesn't really matter what Keemstar says because he's going to talk trash about the event regardless, whether I go on the podcast or not. If I go on, maybe I could at least combat that and try to sway some people and defend the event and make people kind of feel some sympathy for me and the other fighters and possibly turn the tides and get people to come around on this. Ultimately, I told Ian I wouldn't go on the podcast because now I'm thinking I'm rocking the boat. I don't want to make people upset. I don't want to get Ian and Anissa to kick me off Creator Clash because I'm being controversial or I'm stirring the pot and causing problems. I really didn't want to get kicked off. And I also...
Yeah, and Ian always has a record of, kicking people off Creator Clash, right? Remember Froggy Fresh?
Also didn't want Anissa to call me and get after me again for doing something that she didn't like. I thought this was too risky for me and I was jeopardizing my own stance in position in this event. So I said, fine, I won't go on the podcast. But the whole time I'm thinking, I really do want to do this. I want to go on there and talk to Keemstar and try to promote the event and face all this criticism and try to do some damage control because no one was doing that.
Like a week ago?
But I did also
really?
get injured that day in sparring. My arm went numb, which is a thing that happens sometimes when I got hit. So I had to go to the doctor. So it was probably for the best that I went and got that checked out. But I did say to Keemstar, I would like to come on the show later and talk about this because it was something I wanted to do because nobody else was doing any damage control for this event. Now, every fighter in Creator Clash 3 was offered $15,000 to cover their fight training, except for LA Beast, who I guess got $7,000 additional because he said his training cost more than that. I don't know if anyone else got additional money. As far as I've been told by the event, he was the only one. Regardless, when the event got postponed, they offered everyone an additional $10,000 as an extension to extend your training until October. A lot of people couldn't do the event now because it was getting extended. Myth dropped out, LA Beast dropped out, Freddie Wong dropped out. I didn't drop out. I thought about it. I thought, is this worth doing? And then ultimately I thought, I really want to box. I've been training for so long. I don't want to stop this, and I want the event to
Classic sunken cost fallacy. Classic.
happen, and I really want to get in that ring a third time. Also, that $10,000 will help me out. In addition to that $10,000 extension dollars,
fuck me, dude. $10,000 only for all that trouble? Guys, I don't think I would say yes. Dude, just for... I mean, it's $10,000, I agree, but isn't it like months and months of dedication? And for breaking your body? Like, and you have to hire and organize everything? Like, don't you make $10,000 just putting fries in the bag for that period of time? Like, and you spend way less effort and way less time. Like, I'm sure it's a service job, so it's hard, right? So, like, having a service job is hard, okay? Yes, I agree. But the thing is like, don't you earn so much more for far less loss for something like this? That's like 2 months worth of pay. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, $10,000 is a lot, but like, fuck me. Like, they should be paid like $50,000. Fuck that shit.
I was going to get now a cut of Ian and Anis's 34% that they were going to get paid. But since they've dropped out, all that money will go to the fighters. I'm thinking this is great. And on top of that, I would also potentially get a bonus check after the event sells out. They'll split up extra money with all the fighters. So I'd get 3 types of payment. I'll get that $10,000 extension and then the 2 bonus checks, we'll call them. But now that the event has been canceled, I'm not getting that extra money. I'm not getting that $10,000, even though I did some of the extra training, because the event's canceled now and it's just over and there's just no more money. And it's really messing me up, and it's really hard for me to be okay with this. That's why I'm making this stupid video, because I'm upset. It sucks.
Make more.
I put my heart into this. I got freaking beat hard this year, harder than I ever had. And I thought, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna train like a freaking professional. Keep my head down, avoid this drama, and now here I am, screwed.
This is what we call a justified crash out, okay? This is literally what it's called. All right, yeah, I actually think, why didn't they give them the 10K when the event got delayed? I don't fucking know. I just can't believe they cancel it. Like, they just cheated this guy out of 10,000. I'm assuming he didn't get paid, right? That's insane. But yeah, fuck. But like, you can clearly see that he's like crashing out justified, right? He deserves to be upset 100%. I totally agree. Like, it's fucked up. Yeah.
At this point, I just started getting too worked up, so I'm now just ending the video. When I filmed this, I just sort of spilled my guts and got kind of worked up. Then I remembered more things I wanted to say, and I tried to compose myself a little bit better, so the video's a bit wild. The last thing I want to say...
To be fair, like, only from the layman's perspective, like, I would say, like, he should have asked Ian for permission to donate that super chat to see, because if there's an ongoing beef, like, you don't want to get in their way, right? But at the same time, it's like, it's literally not a big deal, right? Like, I'm just saying from the layman's perspective, but if you know the full context of the beef, then yeah, fuck Ian, of course. But like, I'm just saying, you know, if you're attending the event of someone who has an active beef with somebody and you super chat the other person, then yeah, of course, there's gonna be some fucking tension there, right? Is any level of being upset now crashing out? Yeah. I have to use this language, okay? Otherwise, I'll be perceived as egghead, all right? I have to catch up with Zoomer language. If I don't, I'll be perceived as a loser. I don't want to be perceived as a loser. Jesus Christ. I'm not old yet, I think.
Is that I always tried to be respectful of them.
Look, again, I know you're like hitting 40 soon, okay? But geez.
Publicly and personally, when I was talking to them, I've always given them the benefit of the doubt and never really wanted to place blame on them or anyone. And then it turns out they were just talking trash about me behind my back. Ian's coach said on H3 that they used to say I was weird and talk trash about me, and then I also heard the same thing from Froggy Fresh 2 years ago. I don't care if people think I'm weird because I do make weird videos. I like being different and unique. I'm used to people saying I'm weird. I was just very surprised that it was happening by 2 other creative people. I thought they were like me, and I didn't expect them to make fun of me for being different. I thought that was the point of Creator Clash, was to gather the unique people and put them in a boxing ring. I guess not.
You mean like acoustic people?
Not. So there you go. That's everything. That's my side of things, and that's how I feel. I'm a little embarrassed to even put this video out and join in on this like conversation and expose myself and show myself as getting worked up, but I'm choosing to put it out. I'm choosing to leave that stuff in because that's how I feel, and it's real, and this is what all of this has done to me, and it's made me act this way and feel this way. But it's all over. It's done, and we don't have to think about it anymore. You can see me box on Misfits soon. I will give you updates on that once I have them. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Don't expect any more videos like this. I'm never going to do this again. Goodbye.
He should make more videos like this, honestly.